Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of my team, and again apologies for what's happened with the races leading up to this point. We've had some technical issues which I think we hopefully now have solved. Time will but tell. So we'll get straight back into it. We had a good result back in Canada. The P5 we pulled in the end. Changeable conditions. We had that gearbox issue, so we are going to have to take a gearbox change and a penalty here. But we've got some R&D coming before the race. We've got the monocoque structure coming in, the gurney flaps, and the ignition systems. So yeah, let's go to this durability event.
We have another one for you. We're happy regardless of what you choose.
That's going to echo. So thanks to the breakthrough in development, we have some additional resources to invest in our R&D. However, the durability department are arguing they currently best placed to maximise the value of those resources. So devoting their exclusive in that department. So we're going to allow them to continue with the durability.
You handled
I think
that well. Thank you.
we are starting to suffer, and there's been a fair bit of what do you call it, wear and tear. You can see we're on our third ICE, our second MGU-H, second turbo, well, second everything, but our turbocharger, the MGU-H, they were pretty well dead to the world, as is our event gearbox. So we are going to take a penalty going into this race. We'll spend our money on, we could go quality control. Or build time. We'll go for the build time.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So yeah, let's get on with the race weekend and see what we can come up with. So we'll do our first runs in the qualifying pace, see how we do. Now the last couple of races, I feel that well, that's how I feel. I think it's pretty obvious. The team's expectation for the quali run comparable to we've looked really bad in the quali runs. Are we going to be at the back of the grid, pretty much? And in reality, I mean,
Don't
we ended
worry
up
about tyres, just give it everything. In this test, we want to make sure we can lap close to our rivals' pace.
So yeah, I mean, they said at Canada we'd qualify back of the grid, and we ended up P2. So part of me thinks that they've been a little bit out in the last couple of races. And this is not one of them races that, to be fair, kind of think we can get a decent result. Our next probably shaky race at Austria could be a bit freaky deaky for us. We're over a second up through Sector 1, Sector 2. And smashing it.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
They're actually predicted a pole position for us. So we're going to do the race strategy, see how we get on. Pace looking phenomenal. Like I say, we've had some shaky results, so I mean, if we can pull a victory here, it would be phenomenal.
Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy.
See, so I think I've mentioned this before, but we'll race strategy no DRS, see how our lap times look. I'm never sure, because obviously using the DRS, you're going to drop the drag, so it's going to make it more of a fuel effective run, or fuel efficient run, should I say. So I always tend to do them with where I can get away with it without using any DRS. Just because I think, well, you can't guarantee that you're going to get DRS every lap, if at all, through a race. So I don't know if the calculations worked out, and they go, well, you've used DRS, so we'll add a bit of fuel, or what. I don't know.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
So I think that's enough. We'll sim the other sessions and then see how we get on in qualifying. So I think we're going to work on the theory that Lewis was sandbagging. He's really having a bad season. McLaren up there with the best of the best. And a bit of a shock result for Carlos with Ferrari, to be fair, to top the timing tables in FP1. No resource points generated by Tinkdom. So bad. I mean, we've pretty much called him up for our acclaim. I think our next sponsor unlock is at 10, so with that. So we're just gonna dive straight out there. Oh yeah, and we're gonna take a 5-place grid for the component changes. I was like, geez, how have I got a penalty before it even started? But it's applied as soon as we come out of the pits. So there is a huge part of me wanting pole position. There's also a huge part of me hoping that we don't. It'd be such a crying shame for the team's first pole position to then have it taken off us due to reliability. Make sure you get right out of the power, Danny. So P8 in Q1. Obviously we're going to take that 5-second penalty. Nice bit of time over our rival of Ocon. Mick Schumacher in 15th. And I can say this time and get it right, Tinkdom got knocked out, and he did, but this time he is getting knocked out by nearly half a second. So Max and Kimi not getting any time at all. So the question is, do we try a medium lap? I'm not going to play dangerous. I think if I was just thinking, do we go onto the mediums, try and have a longer first stint, try and shake up strategy somewhat, but I don't think there's anything to be gained by doing it, really. And Circuit Paul Ricard, I feel, is one of the most forgiving tracks on the game. Huge run-off areas. Ooh. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it there. We'll take the gamble. Don't want to. Part of me was going, do we want to put a second lap in? But it's more tyre deck into the race. So we'll finish it there. The one hot run and see what we get. Just sneaking through. Seeing both Alpines out, the Alpha Tauri, and then McLarens have found some pace. And a 30.2. So that's our one decent lap in. Again, we're just going to do the one lap. So we feel like I think we've got some decent laps in. Yeah, so not really a surprise quali session. The McLaren is looking really strong this year. We're not quite where the team thought we'd be, but I think a P7 quali result is phenomenal. It is effectively P12 due to the grid penalty. So, but we feel good here. Yeah, hopefully we can claw back up and sort of push in that also ran in the points, you know, sort of maybe the midfield of the points, 4th, 5th, 6th. That's going to be my aim.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Finally an interview.
How's your grid penalty going to affect your strategy going into the race?
It's a spanner in the works, that's for sure.
Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow?
We'll big the team up. The team plays the biggest part. I just drive the car.
How do you feel this season is going for you? Is the car competitive?
I think as long as the car don't wear out too fast, I think we'll do okay. They're going to take a bit of a knock.
I think it's great how much your team has been focused on developing your car.
And it does feel like less of a diva now than it has in other races.
Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. So we're nice and tight with this fight with Ocon. Hopefully this race will be one that we can actually take the lead in the race for the added acclaim.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Vettel, Sainz, Stroll and Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Roberts. They've taken a grid penalty. Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Daniel Ticktum and George Russell, Mazepin, Latifi, Raikkonen and Max Verstappen completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Alright, hello guys.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
We're gonna have a bit of fuel. Now, we're gonna try this, because I'm having nothing but issues with the game, and it crashing out. I'm not liking how light my... Which is gonna get us swamped now. More just because I want to make sure that we gave Stroll a bit of room. Okay, let's try and get our head back in the game and so we took the grid penalty, it dropped us down a few places, but we've got ourselves back into the points. Backing off through that corner on lap 1. I don't think we needed to.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Let's just try and focus up.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
I'm still trying to have a little look. I'm going to try and save a bit of ERS for the sort of start-finish straight. Yeah.
No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving. Pit window open. Let's box this lap. Yellow flag. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Oh, get stuffed. So they dropped yellow flags long enough for us to lose 3 places, and then brought them back out.
We're leading our teammate by 7.9 seconds.
Ah. All sorts of out of shape. Okay, them tyres are a lot worse than they feel, to be fair. Okay, so we'll dive into the pits now, get some fresh rubber on.
Complete, go now.
I just noticed that it does actually put your name and that above your pit
Up to
box.
speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I think we're going to need to make sure we've got a good store of ERS for this straight. Just to have a bit of defence against the DRS on them Aston Martins. Ah. I'm coming through, Carlos.
Brilliant. Nice move.
And the same with Kimmy. A bit of a, you know, if we can get through these and carve through quicker than the other guys, this is where we can make a bit of a gain.
Green flag.
I'm sure what the yellow was
Gap to
for. I
current
don't
front
think
is 1.9
we made.
seconds.
Oh, Kimmy out of the race. Disable the ERS. Charles is compromising his own exit there. I think our teammate was scared of taking the boss out. I don't think we're going to have much of an answer to the McLarens. But if we can hold out where we are, to say some more solid points for the team. And the other thing as well, that I think there's a fair few different strategies playing out through this race.
You've taken 5th.
Ooh.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can. Gap to teammate behind is 26.0 seconds.
We ended up purple in the sector, but we've really got all sorts of deaded coming onto the straight. And then just wanted to sort of back right out because I didn't want to take a corner cutting penalty.
Come on, you can win that place back.
Great bit of wheel-to-wheel racing. We're going to go for the extra lap, just keep pushing things further and further. We have about 6 laps to just try and force our way back up through the field as best we can. Whoopsie.
Release, release.
2.9.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
But we should have much fresher tyres. And maybe even give us a fighting chance at that fastest lap. That's an extra, you know, if we can get that, that is an extra point. So we've got Charles and Yuki Tsunoda up ahead.
Right, let's not stay behind this car for long. We need to get past. Good job, nice overtake.
One of them sort of loads through your gearbox is never good.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Kind of hung Pierre out to dry a little bit there, but okay, we've got 2 laps and 5 seconds to make up on Max Verstappen. We've got the tyre advantage, but I don't think we have the car advantage. But we'll keep pushing because it only needs him to make a mistake. We've actually dropped time to Max. But last lap, so we're just gonna...
Final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 34.9 seconds. We've been awarded a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
That's not what we wanted. And then I was about to say, you know, we'll just nurse the car and nurse that gap. We're right on that 3-second mark. We've been pushing our luck with track limits all race long. I think we got it, but
Race over.
only
Take
just.
care of the car on the way in.
And yeah, Max Verstappen, driver of the day. No surprises there. We thought he would get it.
We've witnessed some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So that's going to be Hamilton closing the deficit to Valtteri in the driver's title. I think it was about 20 points difference.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. How do you feel these grid penalties are affecting the sport?
Oh, no comment.
You
Not
were
slating the
cutting your way
team.
through the field during the race.
The car handled really well in the race, to be
You're
fair.
breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
It's about having a great team and car. Big
Right,
everybody
well,
up.
that's everything.
That was a nice surprise to get the interview at the end. That'll help our team objective. Nice boost to our acclaim and the teams, and a little bit of extra money from Zaneto.
Let's review the drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So we're still sitting there nicely high up in the driver's title in P6. Constructors, we're sitting P4. AlphaTauri closing the gap to us a bit. I mean, obviously the big sort of painful moment is obviously we are the only one scoring points. Tinkdom getting up to P16, so not a horrific result. So yeah, hopefully the video juddering and all the other issues have been sorted this time out. I'm really praying to God. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to hit that like, smash up that subscribe for more F1 content, and we will see you later. Bye bye bye.